One of the things new mix engineers can't ever seem to wrap their heads around is bus routing and what the term bus actually means. Today we're going to be looking at how, when, and why to use one. Hey guys, Jake here from Mix Philosophy, and today we're going to be talking all about buses. It's a simple but powerful concept with a few different uses, and personally I think that your DAW is not set up properly to teach you how to use them. The two main uses for buses that we'll be covering today are grouping tracks together and using send effects. You can also use buses to sidechain different elements of your mix together, but we'll cover that in another video. If you'd like to skip our explanation, click below to skip to the examples. Before we get into it, I want to explain conceptually how buses work and why your DAW is really bad at teaching you how to use them. Essentially, a bus is a blank input and output that you can send and retrieve audio signals from. For example, if you set the output of all your drum tracks to bus 1 and 2, and the input of a new auxiliary input to bus 1 and 2, all of the tracks will be routed or summed through that one auxiliary input. Now you'll be able to control the volume of all these channels with a single fader, and you'll be able to process them all together. This is why oftentimes you'll hear people refer to their mix bus, meaning the entire mix coming down to a single fader, or a bus compressor affecting all of their drums on a single channel. Now why does your DAW do such a bad job of teaching you how to use buses? Because they let you cheat, that's why. Pro Tools gives you the option to send things to specific buses manually, but they also offer the send to track option, which will automatically route and name an empty bus for you. Logic routes everything for you and makes the auxiliary track no matter what you do. FL Studio does some bullshit with these cables, and Ableton has... That's great and all, but it seems like the end result is that people start getting confused when they see a bunch of sends in their project to bus 5 and 6, or some strange delay that they didn't even add themselves. And yes, I'm talking about Logic presets. The most important thing to remember with anything in audio is that it doesn't matter which input you record on or which bus you send something to, just make sure you're choosing the same one on the other side. But that's enough rambling, let's hop into Pro Tools and explore some bus routing. In this example, I'm going to be using bus routing to group all of our drum tracks together and send the saxophone to a new delay. So the first thing we're going to do here is set the output of all of our drum tracks to bus 1 and 2. Remember, it doesn't matter which one you choose, but bus 1 and 2 is the first empty one for me. Now that we've done that, we're going to create a new auxiliary track, which means it holds no audio. We can name it drums. And next we're going to set the input of that track to bus 1 and 2. Now if we play back our mix, we'll be able to hear that all the drum tracks are being summed through this one channel. That's sounding pretty nice. For our next example, we're going to be using sends to send a copy of the saxophone to this delay channel that I've created here. This will allow us to mix it in with this fader as opposed to a dry wet knob, which I find much more efficient. So we're going to start in the send section of our saxophone channel, and we're just going to create a new send to another empty bus. I'll choose bus 3 and 4. In Pro Tools, this brings up a new fader which allows us to control the amount of signal being sent to our destination. I'm just going to alt-click this to leave it at 0 for right now. Over here on our delay channel, I'm going to set the input to the same bus that we chose before, bus 3 and 4. And now if we play our mix back, we'll hear the sax is being processed through the delay channel, and we can mix it in with this fader. So just to recap, we've used bus routing to create a channel we can affect all of the drums with, and we've used it to create an additional send on the sax to add this delay. That's it for this week on Mix Philosophy. My name's Jake, and I hope you learned something valuable. Drop us a comment if you have any questions, and subscribe if you dig the content. Peace.